Momo meets up with Okarun on their way to school and tells him about the plan to bring in Heishi for the next attempt at exorcising the evil eye. Before she can ask him for a favor, her friends Miko and Muko show up, mentioning that Mantis Shrimp's UFO was in the news during the Daijitown incident. This makes Momo wonder if the Tsushinoko was mentioned too. At school, Momo gathers Okarun and Era to talk about a backup plan. Era, feeling down because her friends and classmates are ignoring her after she admitted to spreading a false rumor about Momo, hesitates at first. Despite pretending to be against the idea of sleeping over at Momo's house, Era and Okarun eventually agree to help if Gigi accidentally triggers the curse. Back at the AS house, Gigi is finally allowed to move around without Taro sticking to him as the barrier's effects have worn off. Seiko warns him to be extra cautious around water. She also gives Momo, Okarun, and Era thermoses of hot water, just in case. Things seem fine until dinner. Gigi accidentally touches a drop of soy sauce, and just like that, the evil eye takes over again. One night, chaos breaks out at the ISE house again, after Gigi accidentally washes his hands with cold water, releasing the evil eye. Era is furious and scolds him for being so careless. Not long after, the Hayashi exorcists arrive to perform a ritual to get rid of the evil eye. But as the exorcism goes on, Gigi starts to understand the evil eye's pain and begs everyone to stop. He promises he can control it and asks them to spare the yokai. Seiko agrees to Gigi's request and decides to let the evil eye stay, treating it like part of the family. However, Era isn't happy. She calls Gigi selfish for not thinking about how hard it is for her, Momo, and Okarun to constantly keep watch over him. Okarun steps up, saying he's willing to improve himself to help manage the situation. Momo and Era agree to do the same. Although everyone decides to spare the evil eye, Momo is frustrated, especially after seeing how badly her house is damaged from the evil eye's rampage. While Gigi starts training with Seiko to control the evil eye, Momo takes it upon herself to fix the house. She gets a job as a waitress at Momo Kikaho Cafe. Things get awkward when Miko and Muko show up to tease her while she's working. Momo is embarrassed but powers through. After her shift, Okarun walks her home since she refused to let him stay until she was done. On their way back, trouble strikes again when Gigi accidentally gets splashed by Era's cold drink, triggering the evil eye. Inside its cursed house, Momo faces off with it but manages to save Gigi by spitting out the hot water she was drinking to snap him back to normal. Gigi apologizes to Momo, but Okarun quickly pushes him aside to check if Momo is okay. After everything settles, there's a noticeable tension between Okarun and Gigi, who struggle to talk to each other. Era, on the other hand, feels guilty for causing the whole mess and putting Momo in danger. Okarun wants to get stronger to take on the evil eye, so he asks Mr. Mantis Shrimp for advice on throwing a punch. But Mr. Mantis Shrimp refuses, saying he doesn't believe in violence. Meanwhile, at the Ayase house, Manjiro tries convincing Seiko to bring back the Hayashi for another exorcism after what happened the previous day. Seiko hesitates, but admits she might not have a choice. While this is happening, Turbo Granny notices Okarun struggling to teach himself how to fight. She decides to help him, offering proper training to control her powers. She takes him to a school, and Era, curious about what's going on, secretly follows them. At the school, Turbo Granny leads them to a music room and explains to Okarun that combat is all about rhythm, especially when using her incredible speed. To teach him, she plays the piano horribly on purpose, summoning the music room portraits as enemies. The music room portraits cast an illusion and start attacking with explosive musical notes. Okarun and Era are forced to fight back. Era manages to dodge the notes with ease, but Okarun struggles. Distracted during the fight, he's hit by a rest symbol which paralyzes him, leaving him vulnerable to the explosive notes. Hearing his frustration, Turbo Granny shouts at him to focus, reminding him that Era can't hold out forever. She tells him to move to the rhythm of a song he knows. Okarun remembers the Heishi music and uses it to guide his movements, dodging the attacks and reaching Era in time to protect her. Working together, they manage to get close to the conductor. Era uses her acrobatic silky hair to grab and defeat it, ending the fight. After Okarun and Era take down the conductor, the music room portraits lose their ability to fly. Instead, they create an illusion of an opera house and summon a chorus army to overwhelm them. Turbo Granny quickly explains that the portraits are hiding behind 4 giants. Acting fast, Era uses her hair to lift herself and Okarun onto one of the giants. She kicks the giant toward the musicians, but the giants react, striking back. Era takes a hard hit but pushes through, fueled by the memory of Momo's struggle with the evil eye. She uses her hair to defeat the giants. Meanwhile, Turbo Granny tells Okarun that her speed allows him to hit 5 notes in 1 beat. With this tip, Okarun simultaneously attacks all 5 musicians, creating afterimages with each strike. This knocks out the musicians and dispels the opera house illusion, bringing everyone back to the music room. Okarun checks on Era to make sure she's okay and thanks her for her help. Era, unsure why, skips the flattered response she expected to give and instead argues with Turbo Granny, who insists Okarun should be grateful for her training. Okarun thanks Turbo Granny too, but she reminds him he's still far from mastering her powers. When Era asks what the music room portraits were, Turbo Granny explains they're tulpas, creations formed from people's fear of the portraits. Era grows suspicious of Turbo Granny, but Turbo Granny just jokes around. Elsewhere, Manjiro tells Gigi it's impossible for him to control the evil eye and that another exorcism must happen. Outside, Okarun steps up and calls out Gigi, urging him to fight the evil eye. He admits their plan to accept the yokai is strange but admirable and refuses to stay weak while others grow stronger. After hearing this, Seiko agrees to let Okarun proceed. Gigi, trusting Okarun, releases the evil eye. With his improved control over Turbo Granny's power, Okarun outmatches the evil eye. He dodges its grudge ball attacks and lands hit after hit, showing how far he's come. After Okarun uses his all-out headbutt as a final move, his transformation ends, leaving him drained. Momo and the others grow worried as the evil eye is still standing, ready to keep fighting. Despite their concerns, Okarun tells them to stay back and declares that the evil eye isn't worth fighting. Annoyed, the evil eye listens as Okarun proposes a deal. They'll fight once a week, but only if the evil eye stops targeting anyone else. Momo doesn't understand what's going on until Turbo Granny explains. Okarun realized earlier that the evil eye acts like a newborn, seeing fighting as a form of playing. His plan is to become the yokai's playmate to keep him under control. However, before agreeing, the evil eye unexpectedly removes his underwear and hands it to Okarun, saying he won't cooperate. Instead, the yokai gives Gigi full control of his body until their next fight, which the evil eye eagerly awaits. When Gigi regains consciousness, Okarun reassures him that no one was harmed while the evil eye had control and that he can go back to his normal life. Gigi, standing naked, causes Momo, Era, and Hana to look away, while Seiko throws in a lighthearted comment about the situation. With the evil eye under control, Manjiro heads back to his shrine to store the underwear as a cursed object. Before leaving with his parents, Gigi thanks everyone for their support. After Okarun and Era leave, Seiko suggests a visit to a bathhouse with Momo, Turbo Granny, and Hana to relax, choosing to ignore the wreckage of their home for now. On their way back, Momo suggests asking their friends for money to fix the house, but Seiko dismisses the idea. At their entrance, they encounter a mysterious alien and immediately kick him away for trespassing. Soon after, Okarun arrives with Era, Mr. Mantis Shrimp, and Chiquitita. He explains that the alien Ludris is here to repair their house using nanoskin. Though hesitant at first, Seiko eventually accepts their help, allowing Ludris to remodel their home.